Dave here, how are you? Today I'm going to be converting the fluorescent tubes that I have in my garage over to LED flat panels. Now the reason I'm doing this is because I like the advantages of the LED panels. There are a few, and you may or may not be aware of that. The advantages of LED are instant startup, instant brightness, no waiting for it to warm up, no flicker, no hum, no UV light comes from these. They last longer. They're easy for me to install. It's a plug and play, literally. This is an Australian style power point, goes into a transformer. This plugs into the back of the fitting. So I don't need to get an electrician to do this. These are 6,500 Kelvin. The advantage of that for me is that as I'm getting older, the bluer the light, as in the hotter the light, now don't get confused with this. People seem to get this the wrong way around. The hotter a flame is, the bluer it is. Remember your days at school with a Bunsen burner. The red part of the flame was the coolest part. You get into that blue part, that's the hot section. It's the same with light. There's 0 to 10,000 Kelvin. These are 6,500 Kelvin, which means it's getting towards the blue end of the scale. That's enough about Kelvin. These panels throw out 3,300 lumens. That's how bright they are. Now in this room here, I've just put a couple of screws up beside the fittings and the heads are holding the panel. And it's working fine in here. But in that room there, I'm going to do something slightly different. Now, I'm spending a fair bit of time laying out the boxes on the floor. I think it's easier for me to visualize where the lights are going to be. Now, you might wonder why I'm changing these lights. I've explained it a fair degree, but the LED is going to give a much more even broadcast of light for me. And that's what I'm concentrating on here right at the moment. I had these boxes laid out this way, 3 rows. I've got 2 rows running this way. I've got a couple of boxes up here, I don't know. So I need to get some light up the other end there as well. I think this is possibly the way I'm going to have to go. The other thing to consider is it's very easy for me to move these because they're not hardwired in, but I'd like to get it right the first time. A spacer which will fit into that rebate that I created, and I'm going to nail this one up in the centre here at the right width. I'll space it out the other end and that end, then I can slide the light fittings in. And I'll push that up against it and I'll hold it with the gun. Fingers away. Other way, fingers away. Beautiful. So all it is, these are the transformers. We'll be able to do this except for that fitting there is already going to stuff me up, isn't it? We might be okay. Might be okay, it might be terrible. We'll find out. I'm going to slide them in from either end. I think that will have to work. Now why am I sliding them in from either end? Well, we'll see how we go with this to start. May not be getting in at all. That seems to be going okay. So far, so good. I've got this hump here. That end, I think, is going to be too close. So what are we going to do? That I can prise that down ever so slightly. I think that'll work. Well, I've finished. I've all but finished. I'm going to get the electrician to do a little bit of wiring for me. At the moment, I've got all of these fittings plugged into a power point. I'm going to get it so that it works off the light switch. Now, at the moment, I've just got these 6 panels. Remember, they're 3300 lumens each. 6,500 Kelvin is their temperature, as in how blue or how red they are. They're on the blue side of the spectrum. And I'm amazed. Each one of them is a softbox. I'm going to show you the difference. I'm going to turn the fluorescent tubes on. Now remember, there's 8 of those at 3300 lumens, and they're at 5,000 Kelvin, in comparison to 6 of these. And you will see a difference. This is going to be slightly cheaper for apparently more light. You watch this. Okay, here we go. That's a bit of a difference, isn't it? What a difference. Now, granted, these will warm up a little bit, but they will not get as bright as these LEDs. Now, these tubes aren't terribly old. Give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm doing. Keep on coming back. Subscribe to the channel. There's that little button down there. I've got a heap more to show, especially when this room starts to perform as I wanted it to. See you next time. Bye. Gonna turn these ones back on. Whoa! There I am. Thanks again.